What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today I have a little bit of a review for you and actually more of a comparison. I'm going to be comparing two agendas for you to help you decide maybe which one's going to fit your lifestyle better, if one's better than the other, or if you should just say YOLO and get them both. So if you're interested to see more, definitely continue watching. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome. My name is Brittany. I'm with Laid Back Luxe, and I bring to you luxury, lifestyle, and life's little luxuries. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you as part of the Laid Back crew. If you're already a Laid Back crew member, welcome back to another video. How's things on your neck of the woods? Things are finally thawing out in Texas, which is great. I hope all of you are safe and sound and you guys are doing well. For all of those who are elsewhere, I hope the same for you guys as well. I hope you guys are staying safe and sound and warm, except for you in Florida, because y'all are always warm. I'm just jealous. Today was warm for us. It was 40 degrees outside. It was a jump of 75 degrees, because last week was negative 35. This week is 40. Do the math. So it's warm. It's springtime. It feels like summer here. Just kidding. It's still extremely windy, which makes it feel even colder. But anyways, enough of the small talk. Let's get into it. So the two agendas I'm going to be comparing today are the Agenda GM and the desk agenda, or the agenda bureau, depending on what part of the world you're in. So I love both of these agendas. The agenda bureau is my first agenda. My spouse actually surprised me with it last year, so I was really excited, and I did something I don't always do unless it's a gift, but I hot stamped it. So yeah, there you go. It is mine. It's gonna stay mine forever. It's not going anywhere. Now, the Agenda GM is a little newer. I think I got this, a couple months ago, right after the new year. I was able to score one from the 1-800 number, even though it was showing unavailable online. Always try and call the 1-800 number. Sometimes they can hook you up with a store that has one. Sometimes they can hook you up themselves. Doesn't hurt. And if you don't always get the answer you want, don't hesitate to call back. I call like sometimes 2 or 3 times. I'm that person, but I get what I want for the most part. These guys are similar and they're not. So some of the similarities are pretty much the size. The only thing that's a little different is that the Agenda Bureau is slightly taller than the GM. Just slightly, just barely, not even enough to notice if you're not stacking it like this. Everything else is pretty much the same as far as, you know, this way. I don't know if this is height, so this is length. The length is the same, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm not into carpentry or geometry for that fact. But everything else is the same. They all kind of line up. Obviously, or as you can see, the Agenda GM is a little bit thicker. However, depending on the agenda that you put in the bureau, it can get pretty wide as well. My last agenda was pretty thick, and I don't know if you can kind of see that in some of the creasing that is happening or has happened from my previous agenda, but you know what? It's okay. I'm not mad at it. You can't really tell. You have to really be looking at it to see that this particular agenda that I have in here is a little thinner than my previous one. But let's go over some differences. Let's go over some pros and some cons and all that stuff. So let's start with this guy since I've had it the longest. I really, really love this agenda. Let me tell you why. You can put any agenda that you want. That is a pro for me. I can put pretty much any agenda that I find in Target that's at least the A5 size in here without any issues. And when the year's done, I can find $15 planner, pop it in, good to go. So I do appreciate the fact that I can do that. I also appreciate the fact that, hey, maybe I don't want an agenda in here. Maybe I have a book that fits in here. I can put my book in here. I can put a notebook in here. It's a lot more versatile than this guy. So you have a lot more options of what you can actually house in here. You do get a couple different pockets. You do have the pocket in the front to hold things. You have the flap to hold. And then if you wanted to, you could stick some stuff in here as well. And then on the opposite side, you have a similar pocket at the bottom and you have a few card slots. The only con that I really had about this guy was the fact that I didn't really have a place to put my pen. So I was actually kind of doing like a makeshift pen holder and sticking it here, but then it would slide through or it would get stuck. Like it just, it wasn't the business. The second thing that I would say is a con for this is there is no way to shut it and secure it. It is open, so you want to be careful if you're someone who sticks like random papers or documents in here. It could have the potential to fall out, so it's something to be aware of since there isn't that secure fasten or closure or anything like that. But all in all, I still love it. I don't know. I like it. I like the price point. It's a little less than the GM. I think this is a great starter one to see what you want out of your planner. That's I think a great, start. If you want to be, and if you're someone who's less frills, like if you don't want to spend the time putting your planner together and searching things, if you just want to do like a one-stop shop and you get one of these guys that's already done, this is a good way to go. Now, if you want to be a little more creative and put a little more of your personality into a planner, I would say get the rings. However, you know what? I'm in a planning group on Facebook, and there are people who have bought rings for this planner. I have not gone that far, and I'm not sure exactly how you would do that. I'm pretty sure there's other YouTube videos out there that can show you, but I have seen where people have put their own rings in here, and they have still been able to personalize it and get those loose leaf papers and planners that they like. I personally would not add rings to it just because that takes away from the versatility of this, and that's one of the main reasons I love it. But if you want to maybe get a planner at a lower cost than the GM but still have that same size, but you want the rings, then you could do that by adding some rings. I've seen people say they've done it from Etsy shops, finding things on Amazon, all kinds of things. If you're curious, join the Facebook group. I'll try and put the link in the description below. That brings me to this guy, the GM. Now, there are some pros and some cons. The pros, I like how it has the security feature of the snap closure. I do also appreciate the fact that there is a place to house a pen. I have my pretty pineapple pen in there. I decided to go to Michael's because I didn't want to spend a fortune. People kept giving me places to go on Etsy to find inserts. However, some of those, they're not cheap. I think like the cheapest set I saw was like 30, 40 bucks, and that was for half of the year. And I'm like, oh, I don't have to worry about redoing this halfway through the year. But I have seen some really, really cute personalized planners from people who use those inserts, and they support these small business owners. So it's really cool if that's something you're into. There's definitely lots of options to personalize this guy. Me, I'm cheap, but I still want my shit to look cute. So I went to Michael's and I got a planner for $5. I will say though that these inserts for the month, let me see if I can find a month. It did not have dates, but luckily, I had a sheet of paper that had numbers on it. So this is kind of an idea of like the fact that I had to put those little stickers on the dates, or you can handwrite them, your choice. But that was allowing me to kind of get that little personalization touch that I kind of wanted, but without having to go too extreme. We do have the pocket in the front. We have 2 flaps for items, so that's one extra compared to this guy. And then in the back, we have an extra pocket and then an extra secure pocket as well. So the one thing that is different is there's not a place for cards in this guy. The desk agenda has a place for cards. This guy doesn't. The cons. So some of the cons to these, to the GM that I've been seeing, I haven't quite experienced it yet because it's not old enough. Some of the cons to the GM I hear are the rings tarnish. These guys tarnish. They also, I've heard that they get separated, so there'll be gaps in between. I've actually heard of some of the brand new ones coming like that. So be wary if you're looking at it and you're expecting it. Make sure they all line up and they're closed securely and they're not doing anything. There's no gaps or anything like that. The other thing I have seen and heard is this part like completely coming off and having to be replaced by Louis Vuitton. The snap not working anymore. It tarnishes, it gets gappy, and then it also comes apart. So be gentle. I mean, I wonder how hard someone is using their agenda, if they're constantly flipping through pages, if they're constantly using the loops to open it up. So don't do that. Use the little buttons on the side. That may help. So those are all kind of things that can probably, you know, wear and tear on your agenda a little harder. So those are things to kind of keep in mind. A lot of tarnishing is the issue. The snap tarnishes. Anything that's gold tarnishes over time, so that it can be a big con, especially if you want your item to look nice. And that is something you don't have to worry about on the desk agenda because there's no gold hardware on it. There's no snaps, there's nothing that's going to get loose or fall out. So that can be nice if you want something that's going to look good long term. This might be the way to go. I am currently using this at work, so it is my daily use. And I have this guy just sitting in my bedroom, and I jot down notes. I'm sure there's other things that I didn't talk about, but since I haven't had this guy for that long, I really don't have much else to say. I just wanted to give you a quick review in case you're in the market, because I know when I was originally in the market, I wasn't sure. Actually, I was a little sure. I knew for sure I wanted this guy. But as I used it, there were little things that I wanted, like the pen holder and the snap, that made this way more appealing. Now, if I could have gotten this without the rings and still have the snap and the pen holder, I'd be 100% okay with that. If the agenda came with a snap and a pen holder, winner. I wouldn't need this at all. I'd be like, bye-bye. Bye, GM. See ya. I got everything I need in this bad boy. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So I do have both. I do like both. Would I get another agenda? No. I know some people like smaller ones to carry with them on a day-to-day basis. I don't really need that. I'm either at work or I'm at home. And if I'm out and I need to take a note, I just write a note on my phone and write it in my planner when I get home. So to each their own. I hope that kind of helps someone. My personal opinion is if you're just starting out and you're not sure which one to get, you know, maybe weigh some of those pros or cons. What's going to mean a lot to you? If you're really just kind of wanting something that's nice and flexible, I see so many more uses out of this, whereas this one is just where the GM is just a straight agenda. That's it. Unless you have a hole punch and you hole punch your books or something in here. I don't know. That's it. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Are you team GM or team desk agenda? Leave that in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion. Which one would you want to get first? Do you have one of these? Do you have both of them? What are your thoughts, opinions, views? Leave that all in the comments. And again, also, if this is your first video you're watching of mine, hey dude, we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away an Hermes Bastia. There's me and a group of other Luxe ladies. There's like several of us. Go find my giveaway video. Go watch it. It's short, it's sweet. It's like 5 minutes. You don't even have to watch the whole thing. Just click on it and look to see what you got to do. Yeah, don't forget, because that ends in like 2.5 weeks. All right, that's it for me, guys. Stay safe and ciao.